Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Max Velocity weather forecast. And in today's forecast, we have a lot to talk about, including some big changes to this very large storm that will be impacting the United States as we go into the weekend with the threat of severe weather, including damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. And there will also be a threat for a winter storm and perhaps even a blizzard in parts of the United States. I'll be giving you the latest breakdown on everything that you need to know in this forecast, and let's first hop into what this storm is actually going to entail, beginning with that severe weather potential as we go into Saturday. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a slight risk for severe weather in the lower Mississippi Valley. There has been a few changes to this. We have the slight risk that is a little bit larger now, so it goes from Tennessee back into parts of Texas. It has expanded a bit further off to the north and east, so now it does include parts of Tennessee. It also includes parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and again, East Texas. I would expect that there will be a marginal threat outside of this that will at least go into parts of central North Texas, back into parts of maybe Missouri, and it might even go into parts of Illinois. So this would be the area on Saturday that I would be watching for that severe weather potential. Anywhere outside of that yellow shaded region, it'll be more of a damaging wind threat overall, and there will still be an isolated tornado risk associated with that. One other thing I want to mention is that we do also have a severe weather threat going into Friday of this week. That's Flying Fences Friday. So before that severe weather event on Saturday, we will have a chance for a few storms to produce some large hail and maybe some isolated damaging winds across parts of the Central Plains and as well as back through parts of Arkansas. And we will be talking about this very large storm as we go into this weekend in just a few moments, but I did want to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the United States right now and what is to come over the next few days before this very large storm comes. So as of right now, over in the Pacific Northwest, we have our atmospheric river events that are ongoing. This is bringing a lot of heavy rainfall to parts of the Northwest, including Washington and Oregon. Upwards of a foot of rain could fall in parts of Oregon and as well as Washington over the next few days. And then notice back over in the Midwest, we have some cloud cover rolling through, but nothing major right now. It's pretty minimal stuff, just clouds overall. And then back down in the Southern Plains, that is actually where we have our ridge. It's just west actually of the Southern Plains. It's going to be located over the Four Corner states. And this is bringing a miniature December heat wave basically to parts of the United States. And that'll continue for the next several days. And then back over on the East Coast, overall pretty calm weather. There's a lot of cloud cover across the United States right now. It is one of the more cloudy times of the entire year, so that's why we have so many clouds out there right now, and that'll obviously continue here for the next few days, especially as we go into this weekend, because now let's talk more about what's coming with that large storm. So going into around Thursday, we're going to continue to have a surface-based ridge back down in the southeast quadrant of the country, and that'll be dominating areas like Florida, Georgia, bringing warmer weather and as well as drier weather to those areas, and also another high-pressure system back up into the northeast side of your map here, so back north of New England. That is also where we'll have a ridge in place. But once we go into late Thursday into Friday, we will have to watch a lot of things very closely. There's a lot of elements to this large storm. The first of which will be going into late Thursday into Friday with this system up here, this trough that we'll have back over in the northern plains. This will bring some snowfall, maybe some showers to parts of Minnesota and as well as North Dakota. And as we go into late Friday, this will continue to slowly drift off to the north and east. Then once we go into Friday night into Saturday morning, we are watching another low pressure system associated with basically this low. So we're gonna have two different lows at the surface that we're looking at. The one further down to the south has more of the ingredients for severe weather and as well as the potential for a pretty big cool down and as well as a threat for a winter storm as we go into the later half of the weekend. So again, this is Friday night. We'll be looking at some showers and storms across the southern plains, primarily for those in very far northeastern North Texas, and then back into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, where there will be some severe weather associated with that low pressure system. But overall, nothing much further than that. There will be some snow again back over in the Dakotas and Minnesota, but that's about all. Things get a lot more dramatic though as we go into Saturday, because what we're looking at as we go into Saturday morning, again, will be that trough. It'll move off to the north and northeast. This is our other trough that'll continue to move to the north and northeast. And then eventually we're going to start to get some showers and storms associated with this low pressure system dragging down from Texas all the way back into the southeast. And notice, by the way, all of this cold air advection that'll be plowing down into parts of the southern and central plains. There will be a pretty strong cold front associated with this system. On the other side, we also have isobars that are very close together. That will represent very high wind speeds behind this cold front, upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. So flying trampolines definitely in play, and that will also be a threat all the way back up here into the Midwest as well, with a strong south or a strong northwesterly and westerly wind behind this. Once we go into late Saturday, that is when showers and storms will explode across parts of East Texas, back back into the lower Mississippi Valley, and then back into even parts of the southern Ohio Valley. We'll have some showers and storms out there, and the main concern right now with this severe weather event will likely be damaging winds. I think we could see a little bit of large hail as well, and also a few tornadoes, but this looks to be more of a damaging wind threat. It's been trending more towards that over the last 24 hours, and then once we go into Sunday morning, that is when these showers and storms continue to move to the east. Now, here's where there's a big change to the forecast in comparison to the last few days. You know that I've been talking about that winter storm potential in the Midwest. Well, things have shifted, and I've been mentioning this potential that it might shift further east or west depending on what happens over the next few days. And now that we're about 100 hours out, things are becoming a little bit more certain, but not really that certain. This is a bit more uncertainty than we usually have for about 100 hours out. Notice where the snow area would be with this low pressure system. It would be way back over here to the east. Yesterday with the European model, it was back into the Midwest. So that's a pretty large shift, obviously, to what we've been looking at the last several days. And the only chance for snow right now that it looks like at least would be Saturday back over in the Midwest. But then once we again go into Sunday into Monday, it looks like we'll have a better chance of snowfall across parts of the Northeast. But I do want to again mention that this could also change over the next 24 hours. This is a very big system, and there's a lot of components to it. So a lot of things could easily change from here on out. Obviously, we've already seen some changes, and more changes are definitely going to happen over the next 24 to 48 hours as we get closer. But again, stay tuned with us. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We'll keep you posted with the latest. But at the bare minimum, as we go into Sunday night into Monday morning, a lot of rainfall looks likely across parts of the East Coast, and there will also be a snow component to this. It could bring some blizzard-like conditions, especially with how tight these isobars are. That would represent, again, high wind speeds on the backside of this. That could lead to some blizzard-like conditions. Here's the jet stream, by the way. So again, this trough will actually be positively tilted as we go into Saturday into Sunday. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't see severe weather. Negatively tilted troughs usually give us a better at least chance of severe weather, but in this case we have a positively tilted trough. But with how strong the jet stream is going to be down in the southeast, and additionally how strong the low-level jet will be, and the instability and the dew points, it really doesn't matter. We're still going to see at least some severe weather down there. Here's the low-level jet. This rotates supercells in the lower levels, and overall we will definitely have some of that on Saturday across parts of Louisiana and Mississippi. But I do think it'll be a bit more of a wind-driven threat as we go into Saturday night for that severe weather potential. Here's the instability as well. This basically gives fuel to the severe storms, and we will have some of that Saturday across areas like Louisiana and Mississippi. There will also be some instability on Sunday in parts of Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. So we might see some of that also trickle in to Sunday as well. And here's the moisture as well. So again, this would give you an idea of the buoyancy and whatnot. So as we go into Saturday, we're gonna have dew points in the low 60s across parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas, even some mid 60s. That is again favorable for at least a few severe storms across that region. And Sunday, same story in the southeast, will be in the low to mid 60s for dew points there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the button down below and subscribe if you've not already.